So today we're going to decode the secrets of some of the world's most effective learners. We're going to uncover a way to study that's smarter, not harder, using some really powerful techniques that could completely change the way you learn, forever.
All right, first up, let's talk about the single biggest frustration that every single one of us faces when we try to learn something new.
Has this ever happened to you? You put in the hours, you study for a big test, you feel like you've totally nailed it, and then the next day it's just, poof, gone, right? It's like you never even opened the book in the first place. It is so frustrating, and we've all been there.
And here's the crazy part. That's not just a feeling, it's a scientific fact. Research on something called the forgetting curve shows that our brains are literally wired to lose about 70% of new information within just 24 hours. Now, it's not a bug, it's a feature. It's a filtering system to stop our brains from getting overloaded, but it means a huge chunk of your hard work can just vanish overnight.
But here's the good news, and this is really important. Your brain isn't broken. You're not lazy. The problem isn't you, it's the method. Think about it like you're trying to fill a bucket that has a giant hole in the bottom. You can pour water in all day long with all the effort in the world, but most of it is just going to leak right out. That's exactly what most common study habits are doing.
So, what's the secret? How do some of the best students in the world seem to remember everything so effortlessly? Well, I'll tell you, it's not about studying 24/7. It's all about working smarter, not harder. Here's the real kicker. Most of us were never actually taught how to learn. We were just told to do things like highlight our textbooks, reread our notes a million times, and of course, cram everything the night before a big exam. And yeah, these things feel productive, but they're literally the definition of pouring water into that leaky bucket. Your brain just sees it as background noise and lets it go.
But you can fix that leak. It's not about more time, it's about better techniques. So right now, we're going to break down 5 incredibly powerful study secrets that will help you learn effectively and actually remember what you learn.
So here's our roadmap. We're going to cover active recall, the Kumon method, spaced repetition, the Kaizen 6-minute rule, and something called SHU for deep focus. Each one of these is like a special tool to patch up that leaky bucket and turn your brain into an information-retaining powerhouse.
Okay, let's start with number 1, active recall. Most of us think learning is all about input. Reading a book, watching a lecture, just getting information in. But that's passive. The real magic, the real learning, happens when you force your brain to pull information out. So instead of just rereading a chapter, close the book and try to explain the main ideas out loud, or write down everything you remember. That struggle, that's what builds strong memories. I love this analogy. You don't build muscle by going to the gym and watching other people lift weights, right? You have to do the reps yourself. Your brain is exactly the same. Active recall is the mental weightlifting. That effort is what makes you stronger.
Okay, next up, the Kumon method. This one is all about fighting that urge to cram everything in at once. The core idea is simple. Learning is like building a massive tower. You can't just throw it all up in one day. You have to lay one single block at a time and make sure that block is perfectly in place before you even think about the next one.
The real power here is consistency, not intensity. James Clear talks about this in his book, Atomic Habits. Get this. If you just get 1% better at something every single day, by the end of the year, you're not just a little bit better, you are 37 times better. So studying for 20 minutes every day is so much more powerful than one heroic 10-hour cram session.
Our third technique, spaced repetition, is basically a superpower. It's the direct antidote to that forgetting curve we talked about. The idea is so simple but so effective. You review information at the exact moment your brain is about to forget it. So you might review something after 1 day, then again after 3 days, then after a week. Each time you're strengthening that memory, pulling it back from the brink of being forgotten.
Think of it this way. If you take a whole bucket of water and dump it on a houseplant all at once, most of that water just runs off and is totally wasted. But if you give it a little water every few days, the plant thrives. Your memory is that plant. Little and often is the key. Okay, method number 4 is from the Japanese philosophy of Kaizen, which means small, continuous improvements. The goal here is to make progress so easy and so small that it feels effortless. You don't need hours. All you need is 6 minutes a day. Here's the magic formula. 2 minutes of active recall on yesterday's stuff. 2 minutes of spaced repetition on older stuff. And 2 minutes of focused practice, like doing one single math problem. That's it, 6 minutes. It's these tiny daily habits that build into massive results.
And our final technique is SHU, which is all about deep focus. This is about creating little rituals that signal to your brain, okay, it's game time, time to learn.
It can be anything: finding a quiet spot, putting your phone in another room, using a specific pen just for studying, or putting on a certain playlist. These simple triggers cut through the noise and get your brain primed for deep, focused work.
So now we have these 5 amazing techniques. We have the engine, right? We've basically built a Ferrari for our brain. It's powerful, it's fast, but there's one absolutely crucial piece still missing.
I mean, a Ferrari is pretty useless without fuel, right? So what's the fuel for this learning engine? You've had those days, haven't you? You've got the books, the quiet room, all the time in the world, but you just can't bring yourself to start. Why is that?
The fuel is ikigai. It's this wonderful Japanese concept that roughly translates to a reason for being. But in simple terms, it's your why. It is the reason you get out of bed in the morning. And without a strong why, your brain is always going to be asking, why bother learning this? What does this have to do with my life? And no study technique in the world can fight that lack of motivation.
The philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche said it perfectly. He who has a why to live can bear almost any how. When your why is big enough, the how takes care of itself. When you're exhausted and you've been studying for hours, it's not going to be active recall that keeps you going. It's going to be your ikigai, your purpose, whispering in your ear, come on, just one more chapter. You've got this.
So you have to connect what you're studying to your bigger purpose. You're not just memorizing random facts about biology. No, you are taking the very first step on your mission to become a doctor and save lives. When you make that connection, studying stops being a chore. It becomes the bridge to your dreams. So you've got the tools. You've got the fuel to power them. The only question left is, where do you begin? Well, it all starts with a simple choice.
You can keep using that old leaky bucket method, working super hard but forgetting almost everything. Or you can start using this new smart toolkit. And you don't have to master it all at once. Just pick one. Just one of these techniques to try today. In fact, after this is over, just grab a blank piece of paper and write down everything you remember from this. Start with active recall right now.
And remember this, the top 1% of learners, they aren't born with some special gift. They've just found a more effective way to learn. And now, you have the tools to do the exact same thing. It's time to start learning smarter, not harder.